Hello, and welcome to Dragon Ball Speak, a show where we summarize and we review and we discuss every episode of Dragon Ball Speak, or of Dragon Ball Z. We rate them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And this is Dragon Ball Speak, episode 79.
Do you know who I was being?
Is that Majin Buu?
It is Majin Buu.
You gotta crack your neck a couple times.
That part, when he was talking to Piccolo, he literally would go, when he wasn't talking, his neck was back like this.
Audio only, for audio onlys, his neck is like really far back.
As far back as I can bring it. And then when he would talk, he'd sling his head forward.
He also cracked his neck more than any other character in anime history.
It's true, actually.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Zachary Gooden, Brian Kazmala, Aiden Wabel, and Raipato 1992.
The legends.
The legends. We're coming hot off the heels of our Dragon Ball Super Superhero review. Wesley did not watch it.
Nope,
nor did he
edited
participate.
it, and I hope I did a good job.
Yeah, he blind edited.
Yes, I do. I don't know. Maybe they talk shit about me. Maybe they gush all over me in the episode, you know. I'll never get to know. Well, actually, I will get to know. One day, I'm going to get to listen to that in a few years, and then we can do our own review, me and Brandon's review.
We're going to.
And then it'll be a cool, like, what does Brandon think a few years later, and what does Wesley think on his first time?
And then you'll be able to see what I thought on my first time.
It's very cool.
I have one question for you, and this is the most important question of the show. Everyone, tune in, use your ears.
Yes.
Did they just want to redesign Majin Buu?
Yeah, they did. Should they have? No, because I do not like this Buu.
Oh, really?
Dude, he is like
Phallic?
I just don't like the design.
I think he's so phallic.
It's not a good, I don't like it. The proportions are strange. He kind of looks like gosh, I don't even know. He's reminding me of Channing Tatum a little bit. I don't know if anybody's going to see that.
I don't know.
I guess a lot of people like actually really like Channing Tatum, like attractiveness wise. So do your thing. But he just has the same face as Channing Tatum, specifically in the Jump Street movie where he plays like a dumber character. And I just get those vibes. I just want to punch Majin Buu. I don't like his design anymore. His proportions are wrong. The only thing I'll give him is I know he's swinging a heavy hog, because his torso's long and his legs start higher than his hips or groin. And so that means his groin is so heavy that it's dragging that entire section of his body beneath his hips where his legs meet his torso, which completely validates the theory that he has a huge hog. But does that make him a great character design? No.
All right, on a theoretical level, not like on a literal level, but like, like in theory, who has a bigger swinging hog? We got Satan, Cell, Majin Buu, current form.
Cell.
Like not a literal hog. We're talking like hog energy.
Oh, okay. Energy. Mr. Satan has small hog energy.
That's not what you said before.
Didn't
we say? Oh, no. We said he literally has a big hog.
Yes, he does.
Okay, sorry. We're talking about energy.
He's got a big dad hog. Yeah.
Yeah.
But his energy, he does not have a big dick energy. It's small. He has SHE.
SDE. Oh.
Small hog energy.
Okay. Yes.
And then Cell. Yeah. Also, small hog energy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems like he was compensating for his small hog energy, and that's the problem. If you have a small hog, you gotta own it. It's the motion of the ocean and not the size of the wave, is I think the saying. And then there's Majin Buu, who perhaps has the smallest hog energy of the trio.
Is that so?
I believe so. Biggest hog energy we already know is probably Deborah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the chin. Not only is he like swinging hog literally, but swinging hog metaphorically.
And he's like a devil.
Yeah.
So that you already know.
Yeah.
So as a member, as a person with a small, let's just say on the smaller side of things.
The second
Actually,
you said as a member, I was like,
there's a friend of mine who has a pretty small. Let's leave it at that. Okay.
Branson.
Yes, my friend Branson. He is my twin brother.
Your twin. The one we don't invite him on the podcast because of the small hog energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's okay that he's that he doesn't have that?
Yeah, it's totally okay. It's okay. It's like I mentioned earlier. It's the motion of the ocean.
Right.
Don't let the size of the wave get you down. People have fun boogie boarding on nothing, me included.
Is that true? I'll tell him.
We boogie board on small waves here in Florida, so I think people can get down with the small wave, small hog. Yeah, Branson, your twin brother, small hog energy. Ryan, however,
giant
dad. Yeah, he's got a dad dom.
Yeah,
for sure.
We all know it.
Yeah, it's a known factor. We'll ask him about it next time he's on the show, which will hopefully be soon. Because turns out you guys really like Ryan.
Apparently,
Thank you for giving us those numbers.
I've heard that the day you become a dad, your hog doubles in literal and metaphorical sense, size-wise.
I've heard that as well.
Like doubles.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like kind of doubles.
Like actually doubles. And some people triple.
Shout out to dads.
Shout out to dad's dicks.
Yep. I'm a dog dad.
True.
We both are. That counts. Episode 255, Boo Against Boo. Did you like?
Yeah, actually.
I thought this was a great episode.
It's a cool fight. It's my favorite episode of the trio.
By far. They're both Boo. We got Fat Pink Boo versus Grayish Evil Boo. We did confirm in this episode, Piccolo basically says it's the exact same thing that happened to him once upon a dream, where he splits the good side and the evil side. Only with Piccolo, the good prevailed. With Majin Buu, however, the evil has prevailed. So Dende and Piccolo are kind of like watching and observing, and they do comment that this new Boo is stronger than the original. This is Super Boo, by the way.
Oh, okay. I've been calling him Evil Boo.
No.
Gray equals Super Boo.
So this is Super, like after he absorbs Fat Boo is Super Boo. Gray is Evil Boo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the fight was pretty one-sided and brief, but it was pretty to look at. Majin Buu, as we know him, he did indeed lose. He got turned into chocolate, and then he got eaten.
That's how that works.
So there was some sort of absorption happening here.
Yeah, this actually confirms my theory from earlier in the Buu saga that he is made of bubblegum, if you'll remember. Because we see him eat some of Boo and he chews it like bubblegum.
Yeah, the sound design here is really good.
Yeah.
It's very it's oddly satisfying, like the one Snapchat thing.
Yes. So drop a comment. Let me know that I was correct. Praise me, do all that normal stuff. I know people were doubting. I know my haters were doubting.
It was never hidden that he was made of like a rubbery sort of substance.
Well, I don't know. Go back and watch the tapes. Run it back, ref.
You two don't have a clue. Why did I write that?
Piccolo says
that?
Oh,
yeah, Piccolo says it to the kids. So, yeah, he's stronger than the original. The kids are, like, making jokes and stuff, and he's like, you guys don't have a clue. First off, I fought with your dads before you were born through many various warrior battles, and you guys really have no idea what we've been through, and this is worse than all of that, so you are out of your league here, so you guys need to take this more seriously. But then the moms are angry at old Piccolo, as they call him.
Stepdad versus the moms.
Yep, and guess who loses every time?
Stepdad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they have to take baths and they have to take naps, even though they should be training, but they are tired. So this is the point for me in the Buu saga where every episode, per se, feels like it was improv.
I get that sense.
Because first it's like, okay, now Evil Boo and Good Boo split. Oh, so now Evil Boo eats Good Boo and becomes Super Boo. So he looks different, but functionally is the same, only stronger. But he still has a little bit of the good side in him because he doesn't want to kill Satan. So there's really not too much of a difference.
It's weird because like 1 + 1 = 2. 2 - 1 = 1. And if you add the two ones together again, they still equal 2. But here, that's not what happened.
Look, I'm a college dropout. But I will say there is some funny math happening here because so not only is that the case where the sum is greater than the, what is the phrase? The sum is greater than the equal of parts, or the sum is greater than parts?
A² + B² = the triangle's girth or length or something.
That's what I was referring to.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. Anyway, there's also some crazy math next episode. I'm just gonna say it now for the sake of everyone's entertainment. 1 minute in the hyperbolic time chamber equals 6 hours. Mm-hmm. Correct me. I don't know what's happening here. But in my head, okay, this is the simple ratio. This is what they call the golden ratio.
This is actually the 3rd episode, by the way. But yes.
Sorry. Skipping ahead for all you kids watching along at home. 1 day equals 365 days. Yes or no?
No. Wait,
yes.
what?
In the hyperbolic time
in the
chamber.
hyperbolic. Yeah.
Not in real life. 1 day equals 365 days. So it stands to reason that 1 hour would equal 365 hours. Oh. Wait a minute. He said 1 minute. Okay, so then 1 minute
Getting the phone out.
would be equal to 6 hours?
So
365 divided by 60. Oh my God.
6.08.
The math was right.
The math was right.
Oh my God. I thought this whole time I was like, it should be 365 hours, not 6 hours. I tell you what, I did drop out of college.
And it's a good thing too, clearly.
It's a good thing. Didn't need it. Waste of money. So the moms are angry. Dende, have you noticed, in these episodes, goes from tall, like, because he aged up, to back to being a child over and over and over again.
It was weird. I almost asked you if I missed something, but then I was like, nah, I think this is
It's crazy.
this is what we owe in right now. It's funny because I didn't notice any of these. I actually really like this episode a lot.
Oh, me too.
But yeah, there was a lot of like weird, questionable things like Dende's growth.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I wanted to point out that them fighting before, because we kind of jumped ahead to Super Boo becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Boo does use a new move, and it's one that I think is going to come into play heavily in the future of Dragon Ball Z, possibly Super, Broly, and Superhero. Reverse Chocolate Attack.
Yeah, reverse chocolate attack.
Yeah, I feel like people count that one out a lot.
Yeah, so spoilers in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, that is in fact that is what they use to save the day.
Dang.
Yeah.
Callbacks. And this is why it's important to watch everything before a new movie.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know this if you didn't watch Dragon Ball, but the Rabbit King originally used this exact technique against Master Roshi when he was young.
Yeah.
And then as a result, Roshi reversed to the reverse chocolate attack and then killed Rabbit King, and he's still on the moon to this day.
He is.
Even though the moon got destroyed a couple times, but it's back.
You know what?
It's back.
It returns. Yoked Boo is what I called him.
Yeah, so real quick, just a formal 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everybody, it's Dragon Ball Speak, and it's time to rate that form.
Rate that form.
Can you rate that form for me?
One of my least favorite designs.
That's
in Dragon Ball
surprising.
Z villainous. I just don't like it. It's just strange. Sometimes his thing on his head is like 5 feet tall, and other times it's like not. Maybe now that I'm saying that out loud, maybe that is his hog. And there's a reason why sometimes it's bigger than other times. These are the kind of questions that I think it's important for podcasts like us to address when critiquing and viewing old shows like this through a new lens.
It's crazy. Sometimes when I work out or when I run or if I'm like hunched over for a long time, my pee-pee disappears.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally, like it's gone. It's like a Mario pipe.
One time, me and my wife, we went on a honeymoon cruise, and we were on like a newlyweds show that they did there in front of everybody on the cruise, like in the big auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions that they asked me was, when you get out of the shower, is your penis the Eiffel Tower or is it a lazy dog or something like that, or is it Finding Nemo? And they went like this for Finding Nemo.
What is that?
Finding Nemo, like he's hiding in the coral, like.
Oh, okay. Like
gone.
yeah.
And I had to give my answer to everybody, and I was like Finding Nemo. I believe it or not, I do not get out of the shower bricked up. It's usually I take a hot shower and then I'm cold, and old boy disappears, and then everyone laughed at me, like probably 1,000 people, and I was like, if you like, what are y'all doing? Y'all walking out the shower with an Eiffel Tower? That's interesting.
Yeah, so the thing is, if you take a hot shower, which most do, warm to hot,
Yeah.
I very seldom take a cold shower. And even when I take a cold shower, it's really a cool shower. Anyway, point being, when you step out into the cold air, there is a level, it's how a hurricane is formed. When you have the hot air mixed with the cold air, it creates a vortex, and the vortex leads to significant levels of destruction.
Yeah.
Now, we have the same thing happening here. When the warm... I'm sorry, kids. When the warm sack hits the cold air, there is indeed the same scientific
Vortex
reaction.
sucking. Yeah.
And as a result, there is a level of destruction and shrinkage. And no one comes out of the shower feeling good. Or
Yeah.
the pool, obviously. Sometimes you come out of the shower and you're like, this is bad.
The pool's the worst. In movies, they always make it like, the shorts are all tight on a dude and he's got like a rock and bulge. And I'm like, bro, when I step out of a pool, the first thing I'm doing is like
Yeah, you
airing
gotta,
it out.
You gotta pull it off.
I don't want nothing tight to my body because, yeah.
Because otherwise, there's the appearance of, let's just call it a little button on a fur coat.
Yeah.
Sitting there underneath the old trunks. Trunks! Relevant
Dragon Balls?
conversation.
Dragon Balls.
Back to old Boo. Yeah, so they had a little beam struggle. They fight. It's a pretty fight, but there's nothing, super interesting to say here. They do have the reverse chocolate attack, like Wesley said. That's how the fight ends.
Do you think Boo uses performance-enhancing drugs?
I think he uses. I think the chocolate is performance enhancing because he got stronger.
Fair. So this is not a natural body, so don't think that like this is something you can attain.
Well, he's also like 8 feet tall. He's taller than Piccolo, who's like 7 feet tall.
That's true.
Anyway, we get the most brutal death I feel like we've probably had.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more to this, but it was just a really wild sequence of events.
Go ahead and tell me what happens.
So Majin Buu or Super Buu like makes like a genie. This is where I thought it was going, and kind of like Mr. Fantastic's himself up into the air, and then plunges himself deep into the throat of a unsuspecting man who I guess deserved it from Boo's point of view for shooting him. But Boo has turned into like a liquid at that point, and just the dude guzzles so much Boo that he explodes.
It's actually insane.
I was like, oh, he's going to make another Boo. Maybe that's how this works. If you put Boo in someone, they become a Boo. Maybe this guy was going to possess him.
No.
Maybe he's like a genie. Like, you know how genies kind of have like slender down low and then they kind of branch up.
No,
in
he's just
popular
a
media,
liquid.
But it was just
He's liquidy.
just a wild death.
Yeah, he explodes. It's like a very slow expansion. There's a God. I'm just gonna stop. Never mind. There's this subreddit.
Oh no! Don't bring up the subreddit.
There is actually like an expansion thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. I was gonna go way more graphic. Anyway, we've done enough of that this episode.
There's a subreddit for everything, unfortunately.
There is. Yeah, and then he slowly explodes. Well, he fastly explodes. But anyway, point being.
And then I thought he was going to kill Mr. Satan, but he didn't, damn it. Because he remembers Mr. Satan in his heart.
Do you disagree with Piccolo's assessment of Mr. Satan to Videl?
Oh, I do, absolutely. And I think I have some notes about it.
All right, we'll wait. Everyone stay tuned. We're almost done with this episode here, but okay, so we get Super Boo now. He is stronger. He looks different. I suspect editors wanted a design change. If anyone knows if that's true or not, drop a comment.
Do you like the Super Boo more than Majin Buu?
I think I like it a lot more as a villain design. I don't think it's a stronger design for a character, but for a villain, I do think he is more menacing looking, and I do think that he is cool looking.
Yeah.
I like that the gloves turn into like braces almost.
That is cool.
On the arms, and I do like that he appears to be stronger now. What I also think is interesting about him is that he is our first villain. Well, I guess you could say Majin Buu as well, but this guy seems even more dumb. This is our first like dumb major villain. Because Frieza and Cell are both super intelligent.
He's a meathead.
For sure. But yeah, they feel the power increase all the way over on Kai's planet. Goku and Gohan are frustrated. And then Satan, he thinks Boo is gone, so he starts talking trash, but he's just talking because he doesn't even believe what he's saying. But he's just like, yeah, I wouldn't want to fight me neither. Just like Flash from Spider-Man 1, 2001, 2002. What year was it? Anyway,
2002.
Thank you. Anyway, Sam Raimi. But it turns out Boo is still there.
Yes.
But he still doesn't kill Satan because he remembers him.
Yeah.
And then he flies away. So Satan, spoilers again, one of the last remaining humans left alive on the planet. Yeah. Very soon. Mm-hmm. We get a new theme for Super Boo. It's the very fast guitar that down and down. I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. It feels like
it makes me anxious.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of hokey.
I can see that. So now Super Boo's flying through the air, and we're like, whatever, he's just flying around, probably gonna destroy another city. And then it's kind of like a oh shit moment, because it's like, oh wait, that's the tower. Oh wait, he's going up to the lookout. Oh.
Also, real quick, you can see his lack of intelligence in the way he flies, because he just flies like this, which is weird.
There you go. Case in point.
If you want some aerodynamics, put your hands down. Haven't you ever seen any superhero fly?
Man of Steel is the best ever live action Dragon Ball movie ever made.
In parts, yeah. In other parts.
I like the part where Papa Kent dies. No, son. These 6 people in the boonies cannot know that you are fast.
Yeah.
No.
While Spider-Man 2 in
die.
2004 was like, let's show the world how people will respect and keep a superhero's identity secret. For the
He's
sake
just
of
a
betterment.
kid.
It's a good moment.
Carefully, he's a hero. Was that what that's from?
Yeah.
And
then Hero Plays by Nickelback. Or by the singer of Nickelback.
Do your best Peter Parker trying to prevent the train from going off the rails.
Oh.
I'll do it at the same time.
They're going to ADR the sound in, so I wasn't trying to get like the realistic sound. It was more about the face.
They? Who's they?
The Foley people. The sound Foley design.
I got so dizzy.
Stars.
I'm dizzy.
Yeah. I also think I immediately gave myself a sore throat. Like, just an immediate sore throat.
I gave myself a hernia.
That's not good.
5 out of 7.
7 out of 7.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. That's good for you.
It was fun to see a new villain, even though I actually didn't mind the design too much here. It's really in the later episodes where I start to dislike
That's
the design.
because this one was more well animated.
Yeah, I agree. And I like the fight that they had. I like the reverse chocolate attack. And I like that Goten and Trunks don't really care about anything.
That's funny because I hate that. Episode 256 is called Empty Planet. Spoilers. He shows up at the lookout and he says, produce, which is weird.
I know. I was like, what's he saying? And then they were like, he's saying produce?
I thought he was saying produce.
I thought that at first too. And then they said produce. And I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
This dude just wants vegetables.
So this whole this whole episode is really mostly Majin Buu trying to get the fight out of the promised fight that Goku promised him, and them more or less stalling. It is a little bit slower than the last episode. So Piccolo is trying to stall. He's like, everyone's freaking out because obviously they think they're about to die. And then he's like, wake him up. And Piccolo's like, no. Don't you want a real challenge? Like, well, let's wait. So Majin Buu, to me, never struck me as the kind of character that cares too much about a real challenge.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He has only just begun thinking for himself like an hour ago.
When he killed Babidi?
Babidi, yeah. And now he would be freaking out. He'd be a kid in a candy store. Like he has no idea how to control what he's going through.
This is my problem.
I kind of get why he's impatient, but the whole, don't you want to fight someone stronger?
This is my problem at this point. One of my problems. One of them I already mentioned earlier. One of them is, at this point, why would he not just destroy the planet? If he's like, they've established this character as a very chaotic, very rambunctious, like power hungry, childlike destruction gum. Aside from aside from him liking Mr. Satan and B the dog, There is no reason in my mind that he would not just destroy the planet. Unless now there's a new character trait of his that he likes fighting, which, I guess Goku promised Majin Buu a good fight the last time. Maybe he does I don't know. That just didn't strike me as that kind of character.
Yeah, and Majin Buu was over it already. I don't think...
Also true.
I think if the sniper dudes didn't show up to kill the dog,
the arc would have been over,
the show would have been done.
Yes.
Mr. Satan, that's his fate. The fate that he suffers is having to stay with Majin Buu for the rest of his life.
I agree that his fate also would have saved the whole planet.
Yes.
I agree that if it wasn't for those guys, I mean, this probably would have happened eventually, but if it wasn't for those guys, we'd be good. Like Piccolo said, he basically single-handedly almost got Majin Buu to turn completely to a life of peace permanently.
Yep.
So Majin Buu is walking around assessing the planet in a very long sequence where he walks the entire circumference of the lookout tower.
And the lookout tower is high enough to get the entire population from up there.
Yeah, there's a magic there. I don't know. Piccolo and Kami look down
Fair
from
enough.
there.
That's true.
But I thought that was because they're the Guardians of the Earth.
Yeah, me too.
But apparently Majin Buu...
Just all eyes.
He can just do it.
Chi-Chi tries to attack Buu. I honestly think Chi-Chi could take Buu. I wrote that note down. The next episode proves me wrong. But I would have liked to have seen that as a fair fight. And then human extinction attack happens. And basically, Super Buu becomes a boss from a roguelike video game and just starts spurting out killing blows everywhere. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's fireworks. And then they get just absolutely yeeted.
It's just like Sans from Undertale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a bullet hell. That's what I was trying to think of. Just projectiles everywhere. And all these people, every single person dies except our heroes, Mr. Satan, Tien, and Chaozu. Shout out to them.
Every other human on the entire planet is dead. There's now 12 people.
That's wild because Mr. Satan, well, he might have not been targeted, but Tien and Chaozu were able to dodge it. So that just means all you had to do was dodge the attack and you'd survive. So not a single one of these millions of people were able to.
That's unsurprising to me. Tien and Chaozu are
legends. That's true.
Well, at least Tien.
Yes.
Maybe he protected Chaozu.
Yeah.
Chaozu.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Kai stuff's still happening. It's the worst.
Before that, we get the plan is Krillin is trying to get the kids into the hyperbolic time chamber because every minute that passes is 6 hours, and they're trying to get once again the old Kai stuff just keeps. Every 5 minutes, just assume we cut to old Kai laughing at a comic book while Gohan is sitting there frustrated.
Except this is the episode. This is the episode where, right at the end, once Goku realizes everyone's dead and Supreme Kai does and blah, 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 Gohan's like, what the heck, man? You're supposed to unlock my deep potential and you haven't yet. This is so frustrating. And he gets so angry that he does unlock his new potential. What that is, we don't know. And then Supreme Roshi Kai is like, we did it.
No, he's saying it's working. We're not done yet.
Yeah. So it's just to frustrate Gohan enough that he gets powerful. Stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah. So he's watching the hourglass. We get a new move from Piccolo, Hourglass Beam.
Yes.
He creates an hourglass. Once again, Mr. Satan saves us because as Majin Buu is about to rage and kill Videl, Piccolo's like, wait, that's Mr. Satan's daughter. And then he was like, oh, shoot. So he didn't want to kill her anymore. And then they were able to convince him to wait an hour to, finish the job. Or wait an hour for the fighter, which is Gotenks.
Yes.
I'm losing faith here. Gotenks is really annoying. And the kids are also really annoying. And then
I go back and forth with them. As a watcher, it is annoying. Because it's like, come on, kids. But then I'm also like, well, they are just kids. It's kind of funny that they're just like, I want to eat bananas and fish.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been over 20 hours with Gohan. It's working. His potential is getting unlocked. He's stronger than he was before, so we're going to keep... I just kind of wish this was something else, right? So, what is fun as a viewer or a reader about Gohan having to sit there for 20 hours? Why couldn't it have been... For the Gohan, for the next 20 hours, you are going to have to train harder than you've ever trained in your life. And while you are doing that, I will be drawing out your latent potential. But it will only work if you push yourself to your absolute limit. And we get a much, don't get me wrong, it's still not perfect, but a much better sequence of events that will lead to Gohan becoming stronger versus him just sitting. Like, what is fun about that? What is fun about watching Piccolo walk around the lookout for 15 minutes because he's stalling?
It's very, like, we've talked about this before, but like Gotenks is just like a new toy to sell. And that seems like and Boo, the Boo forms, I'm sure they sold toys of that. That seems like the only drive for this, like, where this arc has gone so far. Because, like, yeah, it really does kind of, I don't know, there's like moments in each episode that feel great. And I think about those whenever I look back on them. But, like, yeah, overall, the arc is like kind of like disrespecting our time a little bit.
It's just messy, man.
I caught myself during this trio of episodes. I was like thinking about how there's still like 30 more episodes of the series to go. And I am pretty confident we're not going to have another villain arc. And this is going to be our final one. And maybe this one ends and then like the last 20 episodes are like slice of life or something else. But I'm just like, man, if this is like an arc for 30 more episodes, like what are we going to be doing? Because we're doing it all already. And now there's only 12 people left on Earth. Unless Tien and Chaozu going to have some crazy latent potential thing, or God forbid Mr. Satan somehow going to save the day. If Mr. Satan saves the day, I'm not watching Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, so do you think Goku and Vegeta come into play at all here? Vegeta's
eventually, yeah.
obviously gone.
I mean, Gohan's getting his like. You said Goku and Vegeta, not Gohan.
Yeah, no, I'm talking Goku and Vegeta. We'll talk about Gohan and Gotenks later. Do you think that they will even? Do you think that Goku's role now for the rest of this series is to be kind of like he's just kind of like watching Gohan train and so on, and then Vegeta's obviously gone, presumably for the rest of the series. Like, do you think that's gonna stay the case?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe at the end they'll get like wished back to life. I guess they can't, right? Because they have been already.
Vegeta cannot be wished back to life. He was supposed to lose his body because he is kind of bad.
I mean, I'm not convinced they don't just wish him back to life and it happens. Or maybe they have a new dragon that does it. Who knows? But yeah, I think Goku and Vegeta are kind of off the board as far as actual characters that are going to matter for the rest of this arc. Gohan, I think, is just going to be the key to victory. Gohan with Gotenks. Maybe they fuse and become Gohan Tanks.
Whoa, wow. So a fusion fusing with a normal person.
I don't actually think it's going to happen. Because that just doesn't, that would be absurd. But if it did, I wouldn't be surprised.
I just hate that you can feel like the writer burnout.
Yeah.
Like you can feel it, man. Like you can really feel it.
If we didn't talk about hogs for like 10 minutes,
there was nothing to talk about.
This episode would be like a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 7.
Same.
And then we get 257 Time Struggle, in my opinion, the worst of the 3.
Yeah, pretty average episode at this point in the show. There's moments I like, of course, like
as always, and and that's the case for really all of these. This arc as a whole, it's not like we're saying it's just bad. It's just like it feels aimless right now.
Yeah. I did the math. 1 real minute equals 6 hours in the time chamber. They have 1 hour, or they were gonna have 1 hour, which is 360 hours inside the time chamber, which is 15 days of training inside the chamber is what they would get. But we know that doesn't happen because Boo blows up the hourglass and is like, I'm ready to go now. And so Piccolo is going to continue to stall. Yeah,
we get one of our more shocking deaths in the series.
I forgot about that.
I forgot that this happened. Chi-Chi dies for the first time.
Yeah, she goes and slaps him on the head, and then he says, "You like eggs?" Turns into an egg and then steps on it. And I was like, oh, shit.
And this is where we see that Goten has a lot more restraint than Gohan.
Yes.
As a character, because if Gohan would have seen that at the same age
immediately,
then it would have basically the world would have ended because he would have gone to fight him and he would have also died and then it would have been over.
Yeah, I do want to pour one out for Piccolo. When that happens and Gohan's freaking out and Piccolo's like, you can't go out there and fight. You're our only hope. Don't do this. He'll kill you now. Gotenks right to his face says, not Gotenks. Goten right to his face says, but mom was all I had left. And as the stepdad in this entire family situation, I know he's more the stepdad to Gohan, but by default, he's what, grandpa to, well, not grandpa. No, he'd still be stepdad.
He's like an uncle.
Yeah. I know that hurt Piccolo. I know it did. And yeah, I don't know if Piccolo deserves that necessarily, but he is going to do what he needs to do for the family. And he's going to tank that one. He's going to tank that hit. And he's not going to let it stop him. He
did tank it. This is where we get the conversation with Videl where he explains how much of a hero her dad is, which regardless of what you say, I hated Satan in the Cell Saga like anyone else. I'm full circle on him. I love his character now. He actually makes me laugh. Like, his reactions to stuff is funny to me. And then the fact that in his own way, no, he will never be able to fight like us, like like Piccolo says. But in his own way, he almost single-handedly saved the world, which is awesome.
I wrote, bro, why is Toriyama always trying to save Mr. Satan? You want to know a little secret?
Yes.
I kind of like him too a little bit.
Ooh!
But I have to hate him. I've committed to this bit. I've committed to the character of hating Mr. Satan. And overall, I hate him. I'll never forget him from the Cell games.
Yes, I don't blame you. I'm excited. I'm excited to see if we get more Satan content in the near future.
Yeah. It is surprising, again, that he is still around.
Yeah.
Like, in general, that this character must have been popular somewhere in the world and people clung to it because it's not a character you would have presumed is around for a while. I mean, they gave this character a daughter to become a main character in the show, the girlfriend of one of our main heroes. Like,
yeah, I know.
Whether I like it or not, the Satans are in it. Satan's their last name, so she's Devil Satan. Videl Satan and the Satan family are probably going to be in this for the rest of my life.
Maybe. So yeah, he's on a different level. They explain once again with Majin Buu, and so this is where they start stalling, and we do get, unfortunately, 10 to 15 minutes of Piccolo walking Majin Buu around the lookout tower. Like, fine, I'll take you to him, and he's stalling. He's walking around. He's missing the door. He's missing the turns. They're taking all kinds of. How big is this thing?
Yeah. According to Fortnite, not that big.
There you
I went
go.
into the time chamber and I went around the Kami Tower, and it's not that big.
There you go. And Fortnite is the it is the newest canon.
That's true.
It's canon now. I thought there was a rule. Am I misremembering that there was not a rule that 2 people max in the time chamber? Do you remember anything like that?
Yeah, because that's why Vegeta.
That's why they were
Trunks,
taking turns.
they took turns.
Yeah. Well, that's not a rule anymore.
Yeah, no. Why would it be?
We'll just brush that aside.
That would not make for fun.
And then, so we do get a little bit of like, so Goten and Trunks have been training. They're feeling way stronger. They're having their little plans, and they're like, no, we shouldn't be fused. Oh, first off, they say they have a level beyond Super Saiyan now.
Yeah.
Do you think it's 2 or 3?
2.
And then they have worked on techniques and so on and so forth. So they're excited, but they want to put on a show. So they're going to start off not Super Saiyan, and then the 30-minute thing. You know, you can almost feel it. You can almost feel that the last 2 times they ran out of time. You can almost feel it happening again because the characters have not learned anything. And when there is no character growth, it is not entertaining, in my opinion, to watch the characters make the same mistakes over and over again. That is not something that is fun to me as a viewer or as a general consumer of media.
Agreed.
That's it. They fuse. They finally get Super Buu in the chamber. Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, everyone's in there.
They did not do Super Saiyan fusion.
Nope. They fused. They did it normal. Majin Buu sucker punched Trunks before they fused, and he was like, "What the heck?" And Majin Buu was like, "Oh, whoops, I'm sorry."
Yeah, and then they fight, and then basically Goten sucker punches Buu, and he tanks it, and they're like, "Well, you know what? Maybe our techniques aren't gonna work." And no shit.
Okay, so real quick, I want to go over just one more time where we at with Majin Buu. So how does this end? We got Gohan training off world.
Gohan's gonna beat Majin Buu.
Okay,
I have no
tell
faith
me more.
Gotenks are gonna do anything about it. I think it's just gonna be like a standard fight. I don't know.
So you don't think Gotenks is going to do anything?
No, I think he might, but like I don't think it's gonna be enough to do to actually like damage him. Maybe he'll like knock him down, but I think it's just gonna be Gohan. And that's the problem with this arc so far is like they're not really giving us any meat to chew on in such a way that I can even like make a bold or good prediction. Like,
well, that's because it takes a
Gohan's
turn
waiting.
at every episode, really.
Yeah, no, yeah, and Gohan's training. Maybe he'll be strong enough. Gotenks is training. Maybe they'll be strong enough.
Yeah. So at this point, we've got a few concepts that have been kind of flushed down the drain already. We've got Majin Vegeta was going to kill Buu, didn't.
Yeah.
We've got Super Saiyan 3 was going to kill Buu, didn't. We've got the Z Sword was supposed to kill Buu, broke.
Yep.
We've got did I say Super Saiyan 3? Fusion thus far has failed. So So it's almost like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, but not in a fun way. Not in a very Italian way.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dragon Ball. I gave it a 3 out of 7.
I gave it 4.
Dragon Ball Speak. Thank you for checking us out. Come back next week. We love you. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Speak.
Bye-bye.